Welcome to Off Book Recaps. I've dived into a 2015 crime thriller film known as Momentum. Spoilers ahead, watch out, take care. The movie opens with an assassin is cornered and surrounded by police outside the airport. Before being taken down, it started in Washington, D.C., with a Senate member having serious discussions with senior Army chiefs about bombing one of the cities in America to create chaos, which would help him overthrow the government. Meanwhile, in South Africa, in Cape Town, 4 fully equipped robbers commit a bank robbery, beating up the branch manager and forcing him to open the vault safe. Once they entered the vault, they opened the safety deposit box and took the diamonds, unaware that a USB drive was hidden with the diamonds. But no one has paid attention to it. After their successful heist, 2 of them get into a disagreement, argue with each other, and start to fight. As a result, the mask of one woman named Alexis is withdrawn from her. She is an ex-military woman who turned into a mysterious thief. This exposes her face to everyone in the bank and the surveillance cameras. She shoots her colleague out of anger and takes him down. Now there are 3 robbers remaining: Kevin, her ex-boyfriend, and MacArthur. She drives the dead body and blows the van into flames to destroy the evidence and cover its traces. Since Alexis has been paid meagerly, she tells Kevin to stop contacting her even if he gets a new deal. Given that the security cameras caught her face in the bank, Alexis intends to flee, so she tells Kevin to make quick preparations and get her out of the country. Kevin agrees and tells her to meet him at the hotel. That evening, the bank heist was the topic of discussion on local news outlets, and Alexis was the #1 suspect. She receives a message from Kevin to pick up her travel documents from his room. Kevin informs Alexis as soon as she walks into his room that he is hoping to meet his source, Jessica, who has a weakness for their employer and can prevent him from looking for them. She needs to abstain from considering leaving the country. The doorbell suddenly rang before he could answer it, and he told Alexis to hide herself under the bed to make his source feel safe. Kevin opens the door for Jessica, unaware that the thugs are behind her back. They started by beating both of them before saying anything. Until the assassin named Washington walks into the room sent by the senator and asks Jessica to unlock her mobile. We learn that the woman is a sex worker. She has a video of her sleeping with the senator, which she had planned to give to Kevin as a negotiating chip. After relentless torture, Jessica revealed the passcode to Washington after deleting the sex tape, and he shot her. After that, Washington ordered his goon to torture Kevin, coercing him to give them the diamonds and the USB drive stolen from the bank. The USB drive contains the meeting recordings between the senator and the military chiefs. When Kevin falls to the ground, he motions for Alexis not to come out of her cover. Washington adds that he will hunt and kill his entire family. Kevin gets stabbed with the knife that penetrates the mattress and almost gets her. Surprisingly, Alexis sees the USB that everyone is looking for, then plugs it off and hides it. The instant Alexis realizes that Kevin has been killed, she gets the gun, moves out of cover, and holds Washington at gunpoint. Unfortunately, when she tried to pull the trigger, the gun had no bullets in it. Then she dashes to her room while Washington's people chase her. She shot one goon in the foot when he tried to force himself into her room. When Washington realized it, he called for more hired guards as a backup plan. At that moment, when they break into her apartment, Washington is surprised to find a Victor SP1 custom edition gun in her room. Since it's only used by professional killers, Alexis takes one of his men hostage at gunpoint. He mistakenly thought she was just a working girl caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. Washington wonders, and Alexis fools him when she talks about his tie as she opens the elevator door. Alexis entered the lift, then opened fire on them before closing the elevator. She acknowledges that Washington and his men are using the elevators to come for her when she reaches the ground floor. She then uses the staircase and runs to the parking lot for a vehicle. Alexis pressed the gas pedal and escaped, leaving Washington and his men stranded in the hotel parking lot. After a while, Alexis has nowhere to go except his old friend MacArthur. When she entered his apartment, she asked him to use his mobile to call someone for help. So she calls Kevin's new girlfriend, Tracy, to warn her that she is in danger because the person who killed Kevin vowed to come for his entire family. Alexis continues, saying she should check Kevin's secret box. It has diamonds, money, and her travel documents. She should keep the money and deliver Alexis' passports to the favorable address. Angrily, Tracy switches off the phone. Just at that moment, Washington's men opened fire on MacArthur and killed him instantly because they found Alexis' vehicle outside his house. In an effort to find Alexis, Washington finds the open window and, additionally, the off-hook mobile phone that shows someone has been using it. Then he redials the last number. Since the mother is in the back store, Kevin's 6-year-old son answers the call. Washington makes him feel good and asks him to play a game with him by telling him their addresses. The boy reveals his house's street number to Washington, then he leaves the apartment. unaware that Alexis has been clinging to the building's roof the entire time, where she can hear everything that is said on the phone. As soon as Tracy opened the envelope from Kevin's box, she discovered that Kevin's most recent bank heist involved the theft of diamonds. She then took the stones out and replaced them with shattered bits of glass. Tracy runs into Washington's goons as she tries to escape, since the boy provided Washington with their address. The thug uses the gun to hit her on the head, straight to the ground. Washington finally grabs the bag and steps on the boy's head to stop her from yelling while he is making travel arrangements on the phone. He orders his guys to murder the mother and her son, since they're now useless. Alexis eventually arrives at Tracy's address. She starts by engaging with one of the thugs, and by using her military skills, she knocks him out. Alexis throws the dagger and stabs the sexual predator in the back before he can enjoy his actions. Then Tracy finishes him off by smashing his head with the boy's toy. After a while, the senator calls his assassin, Washington, to inquire about the progress of retrieving the USB drive. He informs the senator that Kevin used an ex-military woman in the robbery. She has become an obstacle on his course with the device. The senator orders him to take Alexis out and threatens him with sending another assassin to complete the mission. At that precise moment, Alexis uses the redialed number to call Washington. During the conversation, he made an error and revealed his location when he talked about leaving the hotel. This prompts Alexis to trail him for miles straight to the abandoned warehouse. Washington intends to burn Kevin and Jessica's bodies in the incinerator to get rid of the evidence. While Washington is fixing the machine to burn the bodies, Alexis knocks out his right-hand man. Then she opens the car trunk, takes out the bag that is Jessica's head, and closes the trunk. She pointed the gun in the Washington man's mouth. Alexis calls Washington and demands the diamond, which he took from Tracy's house, using his man as the bargaining chip. But Washington insists that the only thing that can change his mind is the USB drive. Secondly, he believes that Alexis is bluffing about shooting his man. To show the seriousness of the matter, Alexis shoots him in the mouth and spills his brain on the floor. The gunshot sound exposes her location to Washington, who rushes to the car only to discover she has left the bomb when it is about to detonate. It explodes, but Washington and the partner narrowly survive. Washington tries to find her location again. When he calls Alexis' phone, she puts the mobile up on the structure, inviting them into her trap. She goes on and calls Tracy to get herself ready because she needs to pretend to be her for their next move. Unexpectedly, Alexis appears behind Washington and strangles him with his tie while holding him perilously close to the edge, threatening to throw him down. Unaware that Washington staged another goon who hits her on the head, and she blacks out. After a while, she wakes up in the middle of torture. Second, she was undressed by Washington and his men. Alexis finds out that the diamonds were exchanged for broken glass pieces. Washington continues to demand a USB drive from her, but Alexis seems unbreakable. Then he instructs his guy to place her leg into the jig machine and begin to twist the leg in an effort to get her to talk where she kept the drive. Given that Alexis was once a remarkable military officer, it won't be easy to make her talk. Washington resorts to talking about her depressing aspects of life in an effort to tear her down. Not to mention how CIA dropped her after she conducted an unsuccessful mission in Cairo. He then begins to threaten her by stating that if he is unable to get the drive, he will blow up Kevin's girlfriend and her son. To protect the defenseless child and his mother, Alexis finally breaks down and agrees to take them to the place where she kept the USB drive. But she requests one phone call. She calls Tracy to meet her at the Western Cape Airport, and with the assurance that she will not disappear from his sight before the airport, Washington stabs Alexis in the leg. Tracy hastily hands Alexis the safe box key at the airport, but still reluctant to lead him to the safety box. Not until Washington threatens to reveal her to the police since she is wanted by authorities for the bank heist. She agrees and takes them to the locker. Tracy grabs her bag that is Jessica's head and puts it inside the building. Washington asks his aide to check the safety of the diamond box once it has been opened, only to discover that Alexis has kept a bomb inside. It explodes. Fortunately, Washington survived the explosion once again. He becomes even angrier as a result and chokes her. Surprisingly, Washington learned that Alexis kept the USB drive in his tie the moment she tried to strangle him in the abandoned building. Alexis knocked him down and escaped. A gunfight breaks out as Washington tries to flee, prompting police officers and vehicles to encircle the area. Tracy takes out the wigs, and the Groves throw them in the trash before leaving the area. The authorities are holding Washington at gunpoint. Alexis converses with Washington once more through the door glasses, complimenting him on his tie. The instant Washington moved his hand towards the chest, the officers believed he was reaching for the gun. Then they mercilessly and repeatedly opened fire on him and took him down. Later, it becomes clear that Tracy and Alexis worked together to exchange the diamonds for the pieces of the broken glasses. A bank heist suspect with red hair and facial scars is being sought after by South African police. Jessica's head was severed and preserved in a bag by Alexis and Tracy. The police won't pursue Alexis because they have enough evidence that the suspect was killed. Moments later, Alexis received her travel documents and was authorized to leave South Africa, heading for the US. Alexis and Tracy managed to share the diamonds to start a new life, and the USB drive will act as a fallback strategy if the senator pursues her further. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to watch more of my videos. Have a good day.